the presentation, then
Hello and
video.
welcome to another episode of Webinar Wednesday. Today we're coming to you with a special episode. Today is Diwali Special. Today is actually, or tomorrow is Diwali, which is one of the main festivals in India. And we've got some special guests with us today who are going to be sharing a little bit about Diwali. First of all, we've got Aditya Bhardwaj, who is my son. And Aditya is going to be talking about Diwali, is going to be giving an introduction. And then we've got Jaswant from Depalia, that is one of the non-profit organizations that we support. And Jaswant is going to be talking about their Sponsor a Child initiative. Hi, Jaswant. Welcome.
Hi, Megla. Hi, Kevin. And hi, Margaret. How are you all doing?
We're well, thanks.
We're all well. Good to see you again, Jaswant.
Thank you. Same here. Lovely seeing you all. And hi, Aditya.
Hello.
So, Marg and Kevin, how's everything going with you guys?
Yeah, well, it's been hot here. We're in summer, so I can wear my t-shirt today. So it's summer and it's raining.
Yes, we're all in our t-shirts today. We're all in our uniform.
All good. I'm looking forward to listening to Adi.
Yes,
and of course Jaswant and the whole Diwali celebration thing. It'd be good.
It'll be interesting to learn about it. Actually, learn some
Absolutely.
culture.
Yeah.
Yes, and everybody watching, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now, and it's over to you, Aditya.
Okay.
Let me just put the mic. Yeah. Stop. Okay, wait. Now you can go.
Hello, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about Diwali. This is like the main festival on India, the whole of India. Almost everybody's going to celebrate it. So what is Diwali? It's a main festival in India for all the Hindus, but it falls on the darkest night, which has no moon, and it's basically a Christmas for India, an Indian Christmas. When is Diwali celebrated? Usually October or November, but it has no fixed date, so it's based on the Indian lunar calendar, but this year it's November 4th.
Which is tomorrow.
Yeah, which is tomorrow. Why is it celebrated? So in every region in India is very different reasons, but in North India, when Lord Rama came back to his kingdom after defeating the demon Ravana because he kidnapped his wife, that's the reason. But the common theme in most of the states is the victory of good over evil and light over darkness.
And this is a long story of Ramayana. How
it's a super long story.
This Lord Rama, he went to Sri Lanka, basically what is the current Sri Lanka, to defeat this 10-headed demon. And we don't know if it's true or not. Maybe it's a myth, but I mean, people say that it is true. They found proof of the story being true. But this is how the legend goes, basically. Let's just go quickly to let me just go back here to see if there are any comments. Okay, no. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so how is Diwali celebrated? First of all, people pray to the goddess of wealth for health and prosperity. I mean, who doesn't want the goddess of wealth to bless them? Of course, right? Diwali celebrated over 5 days, but one main day. There's only one main day that everybody's gonna focus on. So in Diwali, they decorate the house with all beautiful designs out their door. They're called rangolis. So it's like some patterns, sand patterns outside the doorstep. So they turn on all the lights in the house and they put up small diyas, which are very, very small candles with beautiful colors. They're about this small, but decorated with beautiful colors. So they turn on every light in the house, every single light. Before they go to sleep, they turn it off. But they also open all the doors, the main door of the house. Can anybody tell me?
Yeah, this is interesting. So type in the comments, why do you think we open all of the doors of the house? Kevin and Mark, what do you guys think? Why do you think we open all the doors?
To let all the goodness flow through the house, all the happy vibes, something.
What do you think?
No.
What do
No?
you think about that?
Goddess Lakshmi in.
Yeah, to let the goddess in, because they believe that
Oh,
the
of
goddess
course.
comes into
Yeah,
everybody's houses.
You
And
were
so,
close.
yeah, but you were close, yes. So that's why they open up all of the doors. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Okay. So they also give gifts to the family, friends, and neighbors. They dress up in new clothes, new and clean clothes, and they light lots of firecrackers like sparklers. What else?
Like little rockets and
Yeah, bottle rockets
bottle rockets.
and some Chinese crackers. You know, those chains of crackers. And they eat. This is the best part of Diwali. They eat lots and lots and lots of sweets. Not normal sweets like toffee, chocolate, candy. Indian sweets like laddu, burfi, and gulab jamun. But this is my favorite right here, kaju burfi, the one on the bottom. The it's basically how do I say it? Burfi.
Cashew nuts.
Yeah, cashew nut
It's
candy.
cashew nuts with
Silver foil on top.
silver foil. Yes.
Edible silver foil.
So you're
So
actually
it's
eating silver.
actually eating silver. So Diwali is just
wow.
Diwali is a festival that brings everybody together. It's a festival of giving and sharing. And it's just a general festival of joy. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for that, Aditya.
Thank you, Eddie. Are you
That
going to
was
make me those
excellent,
cashew
Eddie.
nut slice? I want to try that cashew nut slice.
Yeah,
You got the
that
recipe,
sounds
Eddie?
It is quite
wonderful.
delicious.
It's
And
delicious.
especially if you can eat the silver paper as well. Wow.
Yes, you can. Kulbahar says, I love Kaju Katli. Yes.
Okay, I'll have to get
Happy
the recipe. I'll have to
Diwali
Google it.
Yeah, happy Diwali. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to attempt to make it today. Let's see how successful we are, because we
It's gonna
usually
take so
buy
long.
it.
It's going to take so long.
Well done, Adi. Trish is saying to let Lakshmi in. Yes, absolutely. Fazila says, hi from Gold Coast. Cool. So that was pretty awesome. Aditya, what's your favorite part of Diwali?
Kaju burfi.
Eating.
And
Yeah.
also the firecrackers.
Firecrackers, yeah. Yeah, we can't do too many firecrackers here, but yeah, that's pretty fun as well.
Is there
But
anywhere
in-
in Singapore, Megala,
Gulab
that you
jamun.
can go and do it? Is there like a little community in Singapore where you can go and celebrate, or you would just do it at home?
Yeah, we usually do it at home because the prayers you're supposed to do at home. And I mean, some people go to the temple as well. There are a couple of temples and they do prayers in the evenings on the main day of Diwali. But usually it's to do it, you're supposed to do it at home because you want to
Right.
welcome the goddess into your homes.
Okay.
Tricia likes
Yum.
gulab jamun. She's saying, yeah.
Oh, she'll know what it tastes like.
Yeah. Jaswant, how do you celebrate Diwali?
So we also celebrated at our home. We, as Aditya said, we enlighten our home with a lot of diyas and lights, and then we do a puja of goddess Lakshmi. Open our doors, as he mentioned, and so that the goddess comes in, and then she showers us with the choicest blessings she has for all of us. And yeah, that's how it is celebrated. And yes, with lots of sweets. And I also love kaju katli, Aditya.
So do you have
That's
like a
pretty
big
awesome.
meal like we have like a Christmas lunch? Do they have like a special big dinner? Or is it just all
Yes.
sweets and things?
No, it
Yes,
is. It is a
yes.
big dinner as well. Yeah, and all vegetarian. We don't have non-vegetarian on Diwali.
Oh. Oh,
Right?
okay. We're
Just
not
what
coming.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Okay, so anything else you want to add, Aditya, about Diwali?
Hmm?
Do you want to add anything else about Diwali? Anything else? No.
Any little Diwali secrets, Addy? You got any little Diwali secrets that we should let us into? Not sure.
No,
No
I think you
secrets
covered
today.
quite
No.
most of it.
Yeah, you did. You
Okay.
did fantastic. You did really well there. It was good. Really fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good, short and sweet and to the point,
Yeah.
and you hit the main
Short,
point, so that was pretty good.
yeah. Short and sweet. Megla. Short and sweet.
He's
Yeah.
hinting at me because I usually extend these webinars and we go up to 4 hours or sometimes for his shows, and so Kevin's giving me a hint. He's a superstar. Look at that, Steven Selikov. Hi, Steven. Okay, so we also
Absolutely.
wanted to talk about Sponsor a Child and also Dipalia to tell people about this nonprofit organization that we support, and we also want to encourage all of you to, if possible, sponsor a child this festival season. It is the season of giving, whether you're celebrating Diwali or Christmas or any other festival. During the end of the year, it is the season of giving, so we want to encourage all of you to sponsor a child in India if possible. And we support children at Dipalia at India Sourcing Trip. So for every person who attends India Sourcing Trip, we sponsor the education of one child for one whole year. And it doesn't cost a lot. So we want to tell you about this opportunity because we strongly believe that as businesses, you should, do business and you should do good as well. At India Sourcing Trip, India Sourcing Network, we believe in that. We do that. That's how we, give back to society. So that's something that we want to encourage you guys to do as well. And Jaswant, can you quickly tell us a little bit about Dipalia, and then we'll tell people about Sponsor a Child, and then we'll also show the video that you have sent to us.
So, yes, good morning, everyone in India and those who have attended from Australia or from other parts of the world. A warm greeting from Dipalia. So, Dipalia is basically a 42-year-old organization. It was established by 7 people who migrated from a state called Kerala in India. It is one of the highest literacy rates in India, and when they all came to India, came to Delhi, they all saw children who were on the streets begging alms, and they found it in a very precarious state. And that's when they all decided that they would give back to their society. They Because they felt that if they are successful in life, it's only because that they have got very good education. And that's the reason they all thought of starting an organization called Depalia. It was founded in 1979, and since then Depalia has supported more than 1 million lives through various programs, including education. Uh, in fact, the name Dipalia means the abode of lights. So, as we all celebrate Diwali, which is a festival of lights, let's come together and enlighten one life uh, with the light of education, and kill the darkness, which is basically illiteracy and poverty. So, Miklas, should I be speaking about sponsor a child just now or a little later?
Do you want to share the video first, Jaswant, or
Yeah,
do you want to?
yes, that's better. Let's have a look at how this program called Sponsor a Child actually helped a child whose name is Jitendra. And yeah, let's have the video first.
Press M also.
तुम क्या कर रहे हो भाई? इधर है, क्या कर रहे हो तुम इधर? खेलने की जगह है? चल चल, कुछ लेकर आए कमा के, लेकर आओ, जाओ। 4 रुपये पैसे चाहिए मुझे, चलो। जल्दी लेकर आओ मेरे लिए दारू। खेलते रहते हैं यहाँ पे, पीने के लिए पैसे नहीं है। अबे बच्चे किधर गए ये? घर छोड़ने के बाद रोड पर आया, मतलब ओखला मंडी था एक ऐसे मेरे लिए सर्वाइवल था कि जहाँ पर मैं चोरी मतलब स्टीलिंग करता था सामान, वेजिटेबल्स उसको बेच के उसी से गुजारा करता था।
चलो बाहर निकलो इधर से।
अरे अंकल अंकल ये ले लो 10 का टमाटर लो। नहीं चाहिए नहीं चाहिए नहीं चाहिए।
गांजा भी पिया है मैंने, चोरी की है, जेब काटे हैं मैंने। और कभी ओखला मंडी रुकता था तो कभी हजरत निजामुद्दीन, तो कभी न्यू दिल्ली जैसे हमारा वो है वहाँ पर रेलवे स्टेशन पर भी सोया हूँ मैं। फिर धीरे धीरे चोरी करते करते कुछ एनजीओ के लोग आए थे, दीपाले के ऐसी, उन्होंने हमें काफ़ी समझाने की कोशिश किया कि आप हमारे साथ रहिए, पढ़िए। फिर हम लोग काफ़ी भैया काफ़ी फोर्स करते रहे हम लोगों को, आओ हम तुम्हें सब चीज़ देंगे, खाना पीना पढ़ना लिखना कपड़ा लत्ता सब देंगे, बट तुम्हें चोरी करने नहीं जानी है, ना तुम्हें हॉस्टल से बाहर जाना है। एक्चुअली मैं अपने भाई को सुधारने के चक्कर में मैं उसके साथ वहीं रुक गया था।
ये तुम्हारे लिए कैसे पहन के जाना है, अच्छे से रखना साफ।
फिर दीपाली के साथ ही रहा, पढ़ा वहाँ पर 10th तक हरियाणा बोर्ड पढ़ा। फिर मेरा अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस था, 77 मेरे परसेंट आई थी 10th में। उसके बाद मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड में सीधे गया पढ़ने के लिए, सीबीएसई बोर्ड में 12 पास किया। फिर उसके बाद सीधे मैंने बेसिक कंप्यूटर की ट्रेनिंग ली, फिर स्किल्स एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्किल ट्रेनिंग ली फ्रॉम जीसस मैरी कॉलेज से। फिर अभी मैं इस बार में जॉब कर रहा हूँ, 1 ईयर हो गया है, और साथ साथ स्टडी करता हूँ जामिया में।
हमारा जो होम है ये जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट के में अंडर रजिस्टर्ड है, और इसमें जो फ़िलहाल स्ट्रेंथ है बच्चों की वो 70 है, यानी कि 25 लड़की हैं, बाकी के बॉयज़ हैं। और हमारे पास जो फ़िलहाल बच्चे हैं उसमें मिसिंग चाइल्ड है, ऑर्फन है, इकोनॉमिकल पुअर हैं, और अबेंडन हैं, कुछ ऐसे भी हैं जो फैमिली से छोड़े हुए हैं। बच्चा अभी हमारे पास 18 साल तक यहाँ रहता है, जिसे हम ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट की पूरी सुविधा दी जाती हैं, जैसे कि उसमें एजुकेशन होता है, शेल्टर होता है, फूड होता है, हेल्थ एंड हाइजीन का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता है।
जब मुझे यहाँ पे आने का मौका मिला तो मैंने पढ़ाई की, और मुझे यहाँ पे 12 साल हो गए। आज बताए मैं 12th क्लास में हूँ और इतने अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़ाई कर रही हूँ। मैं भी चाहती हूँ कि मैं भी अच्छे से पढ़ाई करूँ और कोई अच्छी जॉब मिल जाए ताकि मैं अब सेटल कर सकूँ।
बच्चा पुलिस के थ्रू आ सकता है, इंडिविजुअल खुद आ सकता है, कोई सोशल वर्कर ला सकता है, बस रिकमेंडेशन सीडब्ल्यूसी का होता है, क्योंकि उसकी पावर जो है उसी के पास है।
शायद सरकार ने पहले कभी नहीं सोचा होगा, और ना ही किसी इंसान ने भी सोचा कि ये चिल्ड्रंस होम कितने ज़रूरी हैं। अभी हमें भी महसूस होता है कि ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। अनाथ बच्चे हैं जिनके पेरेंट्स नहीं हैं, उनका पढ़ाई का कोई ख्याल नहीं रखा जा रहा है। मेवात में तो स्पेशली एजुकेशन का बिल्कुल भी अच्छा नहीं है। दीपालिया में ये बहुत अच्छा है कि अपना स्कूल है और हमारे बच्चे बहुत अच्छा पढ़ रहे हैं। इन एनजीओज़ को, इन होम्स को सरकार के साथ साथ प्राइवेट सेक्टर की बहुत मदद की ज़रूरत है कि हमारे बच्चे जो इनमें रह रहे हैं वो वही तालीम ले सकें जो बाहर सोसाइटी के बच्चे।
आइए जुड़िए इस बेशकीमती मुहिम में 80 रुपए के प्रतिदिन अनुदान राशि के साथ। अधिक जानकारी के लिए हमसे संपर्क करें।
Yeah, that was very touching.
Yeah, very powerful. And the people that come on our trip, Megla, our sourcing trip, can actually go visit the Palaya. I know you visited one school when we were last there, but that was for smaller children. But there's other schools all around New Delhi. There's not just one Deepalaya school, is there? There's lots of institutions around the place. Jasmine?
Yes, Jaswant, do you want to add?
Yeah, so the Palaya schools are located in Delhi and Haryana.
Yeah.
But then we don't restrict ourselves to our schools. We work with government school as well, where we, help children who are very weak in getting mainstream education. We improve the quality of education in the government schools, the infrastructure as well. So we don't restrict ourselves to our school. So we have been expanding our activities to various other places where we feel that there is a need of intervention. Not only that, we have lot of learning centers. The Mekla, so the premises that you visited is actually a learning center. So it was a school at some particular point of time, but then it was converted into a learning center because of the recent regulations that have come up in India. So these learning centers, they cater to children like Jitendra, so who are out of school, who are forced to work instead of pursue their education, or who are susceptible or vulnerable to even getting married at a very early age. So what we do is we have a team of social workers who keep on visiting these places and who identify children who are vulnerable. And after their identification, we counsel the parents, we talk to them, and we tell them that how important education is. And basic question that we ask is that, do you think that your child should be pursuing the same kind of profession that you pursue? So generally, what happens is that these parents, they are either migrant workers, or they work on a daily wage basis, which has no certainty of income. So a daily wage worker would generally sit on a small ideal place where lot of people will come and sit together, just for get in the hope of getting a work. So that's how daily wages work in India. So they pay something like 300 rupees a day or something like that. This kind of work they get, and there is no certainty that they will be able to get a job or get a source of income in a day. So that's the kind of situation they all come from. And in slums, they stay in a very very small house of 10 feet by 10 feet, and a family generally comprises of 7 to 8 people, including their grandparents, although all those people who migrate to Delhi basically for getting a job. So this kind of status they are having. And when we ask these parents that, do you want your children to be working in the same way that you are doing right now, generally people, they say no, we want our children to grow further. And then we tell them, how will they grow further without the light of education, without getting into a school, or without getting into formal education. So this is how it helps. And when we bring these children to the non-formal education centers, what we do is we do a assessment of all these kids to find out like what kind of learning outcomes they have. And then based on that, we give our bridge courses to them, and then finally mainstream them to the government schools. And after attending government schools, they come back to us for supplementary education, so that we ensure that these children don't drop out after getting admissions in government schools. What happens is that uh, over there, because of several restrictions, teachers are not able to give one-to-one attention to the kids. So that's how the entire program works. So we have our to sum up, we have our schools, which are the Palaya schools. So one is in Delhi, in Kalkaji extension, and the other one is in Haryana, the new area of Haryana, which is one of the most backward districts of the country. And then we have our learning centers, and then we are having interventions in the common schools. So that's how the entire education system works.
Right. So I
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah.
yeah, I also want to share the photos of when we visited Dipalia in October 2019 with India sourcing trip. So first of all, if you want to sponsor a child and you want to get more information, you can either go directly to Dipalia's website, dipalia.org, or you can also come to indiasourcing.net/sponsor a child, and you can get more information. You can also see photos of our visit over here. So this is the Dipalia Learning Center in Delhi. This is Aditya here. He had also gone with us, and some information about why sponsor a child. So just mentioned this. And just want you also want to talk about what exactly the sponsored child gets.
Okay. So Sponsor a Child is a very, very beautiful program actually. When you sponsor a child, you walk through the entire journey of the child, like how the child progresses from one step to the other. Not only that, a sponsored parent can also mentor the child, so that the child, is given the kind of guidance that he or she will never be able to get from their own parents. So that's the kind of program it is. We give the sponsored parent the entire report of the child, like how the child has progressed in the school, what kind of extracurricular activities the child has actually participated in, how has he or she fared during the entire year. Plus you can get to interact with the child on a periodic basis, like if you want to meet or visit the child, you can do that as well. You can interact with their family members. And not only that, when you think that your child, your sponsored child doesn't have access to books, or doesn't have access to certain stationery items, or doesn't have access to medical care, etc., so you all can come forward and support the child in that way also. So technically, a sponsor a child concept gives you access to a child of some other family whom you have never interacted with, and to change the entire outlook of the child. So what you get in return basically is a very happy child, a very confident child, plus the satisfaction of making a life a bigger change in the life of a child, plus lot of reports, annual reports of the child, annual progress reports of the child. Plus if you sponsor a child from India, you get a tax deduction report, basically a ATG report, where you can avail tax exemption. If you're sponsoring a child in the US, then also in some particular point of view you can get tax exemption. Then you know there is periodic greetings from the child. Children will prepare their greeting cards with their own hands, write messages and letters to all of you. These are the things that basically a sponsored parent gets in return. And I don't think so that anything is bigger than satisfaction that the child that you have sponsored have actually not only completed senior secondary, but also get uh, enrolled in for higher education. So many of the times what I have seen is that when you see that your child has progress to senior secondary, so the sponsor parent starts worrying, like what is happening to the child after higher education. Is the child pursuing college, or what kind of interest the child is having? So many of the times, even these parents, they come forward and they support the education of children for in graduation and post graduations. So I would just like to mention, a girl named Radhika. We have actually changed the name of the girl. So she came from a very disadvantaged family, where father was very abusive. He was a drug addict, and the mother, and he was also, plus he was an HIV positive patient as well. So gradually what happened is that father lost his life. So the family felt that the entire thing will now change. However, the mother takes a decision of getting married again, and the same kind of such story repeats again, and finally the mother leaves the entire house. And that's where the sponsor child comes into place, and the girl was brought again to our Tipalaya children's home, the place that you just saw on the video. And now after completing her graduation, so somebody sponsored her education for nursing. So she is right now a very good nurse. She's earning more than 20,000 rupees a month. And that's the kind of change this program has brought in several lives. I don't have the exact number, how many children were sponsored, and how many children they have actually change, they have entirely change their life. So imagine, that lady, the mother who left her house, simply because she wanted to give a better life to their children. And imagine, she worked as a housemaid to make ends meet, and now her daughter is a nurse who's contributing to the house, not only to her house. And I'm sure, like, when she gets married, she'll make sure that the entire family and the entire children, they get educated. So it changes, it has changed the entire perspective from one generation to the other. So I request all of you to please come forward and, change one life, and see the difference that it brings into your life, the kind of change it brings into your life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been sponsoring children with Dipalia for quite a few years now. I mean, even before India sourcing trips. So it's really nice to see, their progress reports, and sometimes they send New Year cards or Diwali cards. So it's really nice to see, those kinds of updates. And Mark and Kevin, you sponsored a child too. Did you receive any updates? And do you want to share a bit
Yeah,
about
yeah,
your experience?
we got some updates with some cards and things, Margaret, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
good. And I mean, you don't, like, $100 isn't much in our, in our world, really. I don't think, sort of, for, to sponsor somebody for a whole, and give them a chance at life.
Exactly. I mean, that's the best part, that it just costs $100 per year. And, many times we go out for a meal and spend $100 on,
Well,
just a meal.
yeah.
So, I mean, that can really
Magla,
impact
break it
someone's
down.
life, right?
Yeah, break it down, $2 a week, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So how do we do
It's
this?
not-
Can't find a link on your website. So Fazila, if you go to this URL, indiasourcing.net/sponsor dash a child, I'm just going to paste the link in the comments as well, so that you can go directly, or you can also just go to dipalia.org. Let me see if it goes through here. So Fazila, I'm not sure where you're watching from, but you should be able to see this link, indiasourcing.net/sponsor dash child.
Sure.
And it's also scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Or just go to dipalia.org. And I'm going to just go to Dipalia now, because from our website as well, you can go directly to Dipalia. And just stop sharing and share Dipalia, because I just want to show that you can actually also choose the child that you want to sponsor. That is such a beautiful thing. And for me, I've always sponsored girl children. So, and now Aditya is also, I've got one child sponsored in Aditya's name as well. So now we're sponsoring 2 kids there. And so here, yeah, once you're here on dipalia.org, go to find the sponsor child option. And then over here, you can actually choose the child that you want to sponsor. There's some information about the child, how old they are, what are their hobbies, what sort of special talent they have, what's their favorite subject, what's their ambition. So Gina here is 9 years old. She wants to become a doctor. And there's a bit of information about, what she actually, what her parents do, and a bit of her profile as well. And then you can just want, how do you find more kids' profiles? Like, here. Where do I
So it
see
will.
all the profiles of the kids?
So when you move on to this button, like sponsor a child, there is a scroll button. It keeps on moving. So here you
Oh, this
can.
one here.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes,
right.
yes,
Yeah, here.
yes.
Oh, here. Yeah, you can actually select. So here, what I generally do is I select female, and any age, any gender. And then Adi's not happy with that. It's like, why are you favoring girls? Sponsor boys too. But then here's where you see all of the girls. And then, if you see somebody that you can sort of relate to, although it doesn't really matter. I mean, you shouldn't really differentiate. I mean, for some people, doesn't matter who they sponsor. It's just, that they have sponsored a child. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but if you want to do that, you could.
And all the kids have come from a big, diverse sort of backgrounds as well, don't they? Sort of like Jaswan said before, sort of abusive sort of backgrounds, or just you know, poor, from a poor background, not only abused, but from a poor background. But it's great to see, like, the little girl then, I want to be a doctor. What great ambitions for a 9-year-old! I want to be a doctor. That's great, man. And if we
Yeah,
can
that's
all, yeah, go.
exactly. I just wanted to ask Adi, you visited the school, Dipalia, when we went to
Yes.
India in 2019. What were your thoughts when you saw the kids there, and what was your experience like?
It was pretty nice. Like I was very impressed that they made this really nice handmade bell, these bells
Yeah.
on like a wooden thing. It was quite nice actually. It was a really good decoration.
Yeah, so they gave us gifts, and it was basically these wind chimes, metal wind chimes that they had made, and then they had made cards for each and every person. So they had asked us for names of everybody who was uh, going to the school, and they had made individualized, personalized cards for everyone. So it was, yeah, very sweet of all of the kids. Okay, so Aditya is leaving now, and do you want to just say bye to everyone before you go?
Bye bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Addie.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Happy Diwali,
presentation, young
everybody.
man. It was great. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay, anything else that we need to highlight on the website? So what happens after we select a child and let's say we go to the child's profile, and then the two options are monthly or annual. Is that correct, Jaswant?
Right, right. So many people, they feel that they can support many children monthly or a single child monthly, because basically based on the income of a person. So they can choose both the options, whichever they are feeling comfortable with. They can choose the monthly option or the annual month option. So in the case of monthly option, you will have to pay the amount on a monthly basis, while on annual it's only a one time payment. And once you sponsor a child, people from who handle sponsor a child, essentially Thankamani, she will write an email to you with the details of the child that you have sponsored. And then you'll receive more information about the child, the academic records, plus the tax exemption report, as I mentioned. And after that, on an annual basis, you will receive a report, and you can communicate with the child as per your convenience. You can, if you're watching it from India, or if you're visiting India, you can certainly get in touch with the sponsorship department. They will help you in facilitating, a meeting with the child. You can interact with the child and get to know, like, what kind of facilities the pala is providing them, what kind of problems the child is facing. And that ways you can help the child with any ways you want suitable. So that's how it is. So it establishes a one-to-one relationship. So once you sponsor a child, we don't we this case study, the description of the child will go away from the website. So nobody else will be able to sponsor that child, which means that only you will be the person who will be I would say held responsible for the education of that child. So you will have to come forward and make sure that this child goes through a seamless experience of education, while the Palaya gives you a guarantee that will provide the best kind of best quality education that we all can give to the child. And make sure that this child doesn't drop out from the school, or that ways. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I really like about Dipalia is that, I mean, there are so many nonprofit organizations there. And even though people want to donate, um, sometimes people are hesitant because they're not sure if the organization is reliable, if they're credible, if they are really making good use of the money. But, Dipalia, I am confident about, and we know, like, I have known Dipalia for many years, for decades now. And we guarantee that Dipalia is really doing the work, and they are really impacting lives, and the money is going to good use. And that's the reason we really support Dipalia for, whether it's sponsor a child or even for their other initiatives. We had come together to raise money for COVID relief as well. So yeah, I mean, Dipalia is an organization that we stand behind, and we fully support, and we guarantee that your money would be really put to good use if you do sponsor a child. And of course, when you do visit India with us, or on your own, you can go visit the schools as well. Just one, can they meet their sponsored child? Is that encouraged or not?
Yes, yes, we certainly encourage people to meet the child and interact with the child, so that they get to know the child that they are sponsoring in real sense. So there should be. I mean, then they will be able to believe that whatever we say is 100% truth and 100% factual information that we have given to them. So that ways we certainly encourage the sponsored parents to meet the their child, sponsored child. And not only that, I prefer that the child should be taken care of till the child completes the entire education. Of course, if the sponsor parent is not financially viable, for that child, a person to support the higher education, we certainly come forward, and we'll find some other avenues. But I really feel I feel so happy when I see many sponsored parents coming forward and helping the child beyond this commitment of annual commitment of a few dollars, as you mentioned. They come forward and they help them in many ways. They celebrate their festivals also with them. They celebrate their birthdays and anniversaries with them. Their special festivals like Diwali. If I talk about Diwali, many sponsored parents, they have given gifts to the child for celebrating Diwali. So that way is and many people from I remember a sponsor parent from Dubai, who has been giving gifts on the occasion of Eid. Their festival is Eid, so they celebrate that ways. So that's the beauty of this program. And you can celebrate each and everything, your success, and your newer milestones in life with your children, yeah, as you celebrate with your family.
Yeah. And it just costs $100 a year. $100 a
Right.
year, that's it.
Yes.
So yeah, I would encourage everybody to definitely sponsor at least one child. And I think for some children it's a bit more. So this is 12,000 rupees, which is 1,000 rupees per month, which is I think about $20 per month. So it's yeah, maybe slightly more than $100, but still, it's not a lot of money at all. And so once you're on the website, then just what are the options to pay, just to make sure that, so you need to choose foreign donors, and then this amount shown here is in Indian rupees, right?
So if you see that button, there is a currency converter over there. So it will get
Mm-hmm.
give you entire information, like what is the exact money that you have to pay. Then as you go down in the form, you have to fill the entire information of the person who is actually making the payment, like their name, date of birth, the country. And once you choose a country, then the options will be there, like online payment or wire transfer, whichever way you want. So you can pay
Okay.
money sitting at your home as well. So we have tied up with an organization called Razor Pay, which facilitates donation through online modes as well. So it's pretty much easier now to make payment to people in India. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
just did a conversion. That 12,000 works out to 160 US as of today's rate.
Yeah.
So it
So
goes
yes,
up and
so
down with the rate.
Hmm.
So yes, as you mentioned, Mekla, like some of the children, the cost is little higher because they are studying in formal education schools. So now formal education in India has become a little expensive than it was earlier. So yes, that's why the cost is little higher.
Okay. Andy's joined us a bit late into the presentation as Kara. Hope all is going well. Great principal and happy Diwali to all, but especially to young Adi and the Bhardwaj family. Wow, thank you so much, Andy.
Excellent.
You're awesome. Okay, awesome. So, is there anything else, Jaswant, that you would like to share with the group here?
So I would just want everyone to come forward and let's celebrate Diwali with one child who actually needs your support, and please come forward and click on that button called sponsor a child, and change one life. Start bringing a change in one life of a child. Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Awesome. Mark, Kevin,
So,
anything else you want to
yeah.
add before
Well,
we let?
Well, I just hope people come forward and press on the button, click the button, guys.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can find the information on the indiasourcing.net website, or you can go directly to dipalia.org and then click on sponsor a child. And once you're there, you can choose the child that you want to sponsor, and then just make the payment of $100 or $160 per year. That's it. And then you will also send the receipt and all of those things. The whole process is, I think, very streamlined that you have. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, Jane, I'm sponsoring a child. Thank you so much, Jane. Stephen, I have the site up now. Awesome, Stephen. That's brilliant.
Awesome. Fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Awesome.
So yeah, we look forward to visiting Diwali again once we are there. Hopefully next year
in March. We hope.
We hope. Yes.
So I'm really excited to meet you all.
And maybe when we come back, Jasmine, you can come and do a little presentation at our event, at our conference day. How's that?
Absolutely.
If you're in Delhi, yeah, okay, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Do you remember, Kevin and Mark, last time somebody else from Dipalia had come for our Bollywood night?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Kankamani had actually come over there, and it was very nice. Cool. Okay, so that's it for today. We don't have any content to share with you. Today's episode was just more of a celebration about Diwali, and we'll be back next Wednesday with more content. Until then, happy Diwali to all of you celebrating. Even if you're not celebrating, happy Diwali to you.
Happy Diwali,
everyone.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone.